question.
Yes, ma'am.
This is for Heather. If you could reiterate for me, so this is a comp plan amendment, like application change. Are we required to approve every legally? I know, I want to clear that up. Legally,
Sure.
are we?
The legal standard for review for a comprehensive plan amendment is in Florida is the fairly debatable standard of review, which is the standard that applies to most legislative decisions. This is not a quasi-judicial decision.
Mm-hmm.
What the fairly debatable standard of review means is that if you decide to say no tonight, that the court will generally not overturn that decision unless it can be shown that there is no rational basis underlying your choice. So it's highly deferential. As you all know, when you're dealing with land use, your comp plan, you have the most discretion. As you get further along in the process, your discretion is legally squeezed a little bit. So if you had to go to rezoning, you have a burden shifting where you now have a burden on you to show why you made a decision. Mm-hmm. And then once you get down to things like site plan or plat, it's basically a check your box, and if they meet all the requirements, they are generally required to be approved. So right now you're up here where you have discretion.
Can you give us a really short narrative of quasi-judicial so this county can understand that, the citizens?
You're not in a quasi.
I know we're not, but just so they understand the difference.
Sure. A quasi-judicial is when you're sitting up and you're up, the code is already in place. You've already adopted the rules for land use, and you're applying those rules to a specific application.
Okay.
So that's a quasi-judicial. You're making a decision based on a specific application to an individual piece of property. The courts in Florida, although comp plans also deal with individual pieces of property, the Florida Supreme Court has said that comp plan amendments, like the one you're considering tonight, are actually legislative, not quasi-judicial. So it's a different standard of review, one where you have more discretion to enact policy.
And when